In May of 2022, my dad went to prison. And when that happened, it changed my life in a way that I wasn't prepared for. For most of my life, I had this image in the back of my head where I finish school, and then after school, I go to college. And then after college, I can kind of begin to figure out my own path in life. But that wasn't the case because I didn't have someone who can support me financially to the degree where I even finished school. So I had to go down a path in life where I figure everything out without education or any kind of experience. And fast forward to today, which at the time of recording this, the 15th of March, 2026, I had to go through a lot of lessons in order to improve my life. When my dad first went to prison, I would hope and pray every day that he would come out of prison very soon so then he can get a job, make some money, and then he can help me build my future. But the more I lived with that kind of hope, I ended up creating more chaos for me mentally because every day would pass with no signs of things getting better. And the more I lived in that kind of hope with no evidence of anything getting better, I started to become more stressful, more anxious. I even had panic attacks almost every day. And my mom even suggested that I should go and see a therapist. And that went on for months until I was like, okay, maybe I should stop hoping and take the matter into my own hands. And that was the first ever step at me doing something with my life. I was like, okay, I'm not going to depend on my dad. I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to hope. I'm not going to pray anymore. Instead, I'm going to see what I can do every day in order to improve my life mentally and financially. And although I didn't have a clear vision, I didn't have a clear path ahead of me, I didn't know what I was going to do, I just told myself that if I do something every day, if I take one step every day towards a better life, eventually my life would get better. And by me making the decision to improve my life completely on my own, I was able to get my first ever sales job at the age of 17. And then I was able to go on to start my own side hustles and make some good money there. And yes, I still don't have everything figured out, but I am in a much better position now than I was 4 years ago. And I was only able to do that when I told myself that no one is going to help me, no one is going to save me. I should put all faith and all belief in myself. I should put all hope in myself and trust God to guide me towards the right path to improve my life. But that's not the only lesson. I also had to learn and live by the most important lesson, which is letting go of the past. Every time I lived in the past and I would visit the memories of the past, the more I would make decisions based off my past. And the issue with that is, if you keep living in the past, there's nothing beautiful about it. It's all full of sadness, it's full of bad moments. And when you base your decisions based off the past and what happened in the past, the more you keep repeating the negative cycle of life, you don't end up achieving anything. Instead, you create more chaos in your life because nothing ever comes out of making a decision based off fear, anxiety, or stress. So for me to make the right decisions, I had to teach myself and remind myself that the past has nothing to do with my future because the past is the past. I cannot go back into the past and change it. The past doesn't exist, and the past doesn't dictate the kind of person I become. And also, the future doesn't matter because if I keep living in the future, I'm just going to be full of anxiety and stress. So may as well just focus on the now and become very intentional with the kind of person I want to be, the kind of decisions that I want to make, be mindful of everything so I get to make the right decisions. And the more I lived in the now and let go of the past and stopped worrying about the future, I was able to make better decisions. I was able to be more at peace. I was able to not rush with everything that I do. And what that did to me is I was able to achieve more in 2 months of following this lesson than I was able to achieve within an entire year. And I know this might be an issue that you may be going through as well at this time. You may be thinking about the past so much that you keep basing your decisions and your beliefs and your way of going through life on what happened in the past. But I'm here to tell you that the more you keep living in the past and the more you keep basing your way of life based off the past, the more you create chaos in life because the past is not here to help you. It's only here to remind you of the bad things. And I think anyone with the tiniest common sense would know that nothing good comes out of bad the more you keep thinking about the bad. So if you would want to improve your life in any way, you would need to completely destroy the past. Clear it out of your head. Tell yourself, the past is not who I am. It doesn't define who I am. It doesn't define the kind of person I become. And I want you to choose intentionally to live in the now because it's the only thing that exists. Because the moment you keep living in the now, the easier your life gets, the more opportunities flow into your life, the better you get at making any kind of decisions. And the more you persist with living intentionally, not worrying about the future and not too fixated on the past, the better your life gets. It doesn't matter where you're currently at in life. It doesn't matter what you've been through. What matters is the kind of person you become. And you only get to choose the kind of person you wish to become and the kind of life you want to build only when you let go of the past completely and you stop depending on anyone, because trust me, no one is here to help you. Put all faith and all hope in yourself and trust that God will guide you towards the right path so you can finally begin to live the life that you wish to live.